Hey everybody, I'm sorry I'm running a few minutes late today. All right, let me pull up my slides for us. We're gonna have the same kind of setup as we did last week. All right, so today we'll follow our same kind of agenda that we have been. We're going to have a quick icebreaker. We are going to have the same one as last week so that we can keep practicing, talking about self care and about what we are doing ourselves to engage in self care. Then we will do updates. So we'll share what we've been working on and any suggestions that we have about moving forward. And then we'll wrap up at the end of today with some action steps for the next week. Um, so let's go ahead and talk for a few minutes about self care, and I'll go first. So, what have I done for self care? I shared this on our new Facebook group, but I have been learning how to play guitar. It's something that I've been wanting to learn how to do for probably 10 years now, and I went through, lessons and, starting and stopping. And since COVID happened, I've had more time at home, and so I've actually gotten to practice and learn a song and everything. So that was fun. This week, what I plan to do for self care is I need to do some non sexy self care, as I call it, and I need to clean. Um, it's looking pretty rough around my house, so I need to do some basic stuff like laundry and dishes and picking up toys. All right. Well, go to our first person. Is it Dakota? Or I think Bria said she wasn't going to be able to be here, but I don't have a name, so I can't tell you guys apart. Dakota,
Yes, that's me.
yeah.
Um, Self-care lately, I've just been running and been doing yard work. I'm not I haven't really ever been big on yard work, but lately that's what I've been doing, in and out of work and class and the seminars.
Yeah. All right, great. Okay, Caitlin. I think you're still muted. Let me see if I can unmute you. Oh, there you
Sorry,
go.
Peter's been giving me problems all week. What have I done for self-care this week? I don't think I've done anything this week, which is horrible. Um, I've just been insanely busy. What I plan to do this week is catch up on sleep and do some house renovating stuff, kind of demo some cabinets and stuff like that.
That can be very therapeutic.
I think it will be. Just, they're ugly and they're 40 years old and they just need to go away.
Yeah, that's fun. Sometimes you just gotta beat beat some things around.
Mm,
All right, thanks, Caitlin. All right, Audrey.
Oh, I'm a lot like you, Dr. Giannicola. I'm trying to get my house under some sort of control. I have three, all three of my kids living with me now, and I just feel like there's a gif where Bart and Homer Simpson are lying down on a floor that's really messy, and they do like angels, like you would do in snow, but except that it's like junk on the floor. So I'm feeling a little bit like I need to get that better, and then I can feel more zen with my life. So,
Yeah, there's actually a lot of research that having a clean space, or at least like visually uncluttered, is supposed
mhm.
to reduce anxiety.
I've
Um,
heard.
yeah, I've heard that too. I've never been able to
No, me
like
neither.
keep a space like that. But I know that I feel better whenever I have things picked up a little bit. So I hope
Mhm.
you get some time to
Thanks.
do that. Okay. All right. Lily.
So this week I have actually tried some mindfulness, which like on principle I feel like not it's something like I'm very uncomfortable with, but it's been really cool to try. I think I wrote this in my post for this week, but just like not necessarily doing mindfulness alone, but like often I like feel preoccupied with like homework and feel like I have to always be like maximizing every moment. And so if I'm like right now I'm with my family on vacation and we're at the beach and there's a lot of like moments of nothingness and I feel like I should be doing something, but I've been trying to like just pay attention to what everybody else is doing and how they're reacting to the experience or whatever. So that's been good. And it hasn't been like deterring to try some of that, so maybe I'll like try some of it more regularly. And then I've also like tried to do self-care in the way I have conversations with people. Like I think a lot of us can probably relate to this, but we're all like natural fixers, and for me and my family there's a lot of drama going on and a lot of like crazy things, and so I always like people talk to me and I'm like, oh, like you could do this or that or whatever, but I've just been trying to be like really empathetic and like not take the role of fixer because it's really exhausting. And I think like I've been doing an okay job at that, and it's been like it's still hard because I still want to fix things, but it's not been, I don't feel helpless to the extent that I thought I would, and it's just been kind of calming to just be like all they need is someone to listen. So
I really like that. That can be really uncomfortable for us in the field of social work to not fix things and to just be there as a listener, and not even starting conversations that might go there. Like it's okay to talk about the weather or to talk about art, or something that's not how are you doing, and I really want to know exactly how you're doing, and let's really get deep. So yeah, that's great. All right, Kenzie.
So this week I've actually just been cooking a lot. I bought a cookbook and I decided that on some days I would flip through it and just cook whatever page I landed on, cook whatever I found. So I've been doing that, and that's actually been a lot of fun. Kind of going off what Lily said, I think especially with, I'm in the block format, so we have to do 32 to 40 hours a week, and I notice myself wanting to do hours every moment I can, so like maximizing my whole day, and I've decided I need to stop doing that and allow myself to relax. So for next week, having that being that we're on break, I'm just going to try and organize my whole house because I've been needing to do that for a long time and I've been procrastinating.
Okay, great. So it sounds like you and Anthony need to be accountability partners too, because he was talking about cooking last week. All right, great. Joanna.
Um, well, this week I did try and do some of the meditations that were listed on the Facebook page, and that was nice to do. I guess like Lily and Mackenzie, I feel like with the remote, I'm just constantly feeling like I need to do a training. I need to be busy. If I'm not, then I'm not going to meet my hours, even though I have enough, but I still feel the need to constantly be doing something. Um, so for next week, and I've also been very busy this time of year with my husband's work. We have a lot of events that we have to attend. So next week, I really just want to power down and try and sleep and, like everyone else, organize my home.
Yeah, it'll be interesting next week to see how everybody does with that. And this is why I use a backdrop, because I don't want you guys to see my house. But I like to use the excuse of having small children, but my house was like this before them, so I can't really blame them. But It seems like a socially acceptable excuse, though, so I use it. All right, Amy.
Hi, yeah. Mine's pretty much like everyone else's. I've been doing the meditation exercises every day, and I think I've been doing it long enough now. I'm really getting into a habit of it, and that helps me a lot. And for this week, I am the same way. I just can't wait to relax. And like this weekend, I have nothing planned. I don't have
Nice.
to do any assignments. My kids are here. It's just I'm just gonna like not have anything scheduled.
Nice. I like that. So this must be the middle then. So this is like the week where you guys, if y'all are in classes, there's like a week and then you start classes again the week after.
Right. Yeah.
So, um, do you guys want to meet as a group next week, or since you're going to be off of your classes, do you want a break?
I'd love a break.
Okay. That sounds good to
Yeah.
me. All right, Roshana. Roshana, I think you're
Don't
muted.
call
There you
me.
go.
I just unmuted myself. I'm sorry. I was trying to get it to connect to the inside of my car. Well, what I've been doing this week is it's actually something really neat that I've been doing at work. I work for DHS, and so what they have done is they have like kind of partnered with the Department of Health, and so they have been offering us to do this mindfulness matter thing where we take like 20 minutes, like within the day, like at work, and we log into kind of like this Zoom thing, and we kind of do like meditation. And so, like, the focus is like breathing. And so, he's wanting us to practice on keeping up with the time in between breathing and thinking. So, I've found that very kind of helpful with all of this stuff that's going on. And like everybody else, I've just been trying to do other things besides like school stuff. So this week I have kind of been like really lax. And next week it's my son's birthday, so we're gonna do some fun things next week. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm not
When
gonna worry about
when is your
school.
son's birthday?
Well, his birthday is next Saturday, so I'm
Okay.
gonna take off some days from work next week, and we're gonna go out of town, and we're just gonna just enjoy ourselves. This will be the first time that we've been able to get away since this pandemic, so it should be like really good for the both of us. So I'm excited about that. I think I'm more excited than he is because I'm ready to like get away and not think about work, not think about school. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Okay, great. I asked you about when his birthday is because my daughter's birthday is next week too. It's on
Oh,
Tuesday, and so she's turning 7, and
he's
you know,
turning
for
6.
little. Okay, yay! They're around the same age, and so birthdays are like a big deal, you know, for little kids. And she always has a party, or she has up until now. And with COVID, I didn't want to have a big party at my house, and so I've told her that she can have 3 mini parties where we invite like one of her friends to come over. And so that's been quite the headache for me, but she's been having a lot of fun with it. Um,
Yeah.
I hope that you guys have fun on your trip.
Yeah, and see, we usually do a birthday too, and so this year it's gonna be completely different. It'll probably just, like just me and him hanging out, and of course we'll have family and stuff with us, but it won't be big. But we'll still make the best of it and have fun.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It sounds like it's gonna be fun.
yeah.
All right, Alexis.
Hey everybody, I've been pretty much doing what everybody else been doing too. Just pretty much being lax and chill, laid back. I have been working as usual. I wish I could just take off, but I've been working and trying, kind of relaxing away from school. I've also picked up the habit of going to work out more often now. I used to always work out, but I stopped for a while. But now I'm going back to the track twice a week. So I'll run, do a little exercise, burpees, push-ups, sit jumps, like sit-ups, crunches, all that. I've been kind of getting in. I don't have sweat on my face right now. I don't have like on this facial stuff. So that's why my face is like all greasy and stuff. But I just been working out the track kind of like to myself, by myself.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah, and getting outside too, I think is important just to get like some sun on your skin. Early quarantine and early COVID, I started feeling really bad and I realized I hadn't been going outside. I'm like, I need to just go sit outside in the sun and um, that even feels better for me. I have to make sure I get outside every day.
Yes, and I feel like everybody has really been getting outside often now too. 'Cause in my neighborhood now, I see a lot of couples with their kids, or like a lot of kids now. They'll walk my apartment complex. So it's like a big old loop, and so it's kind of like the track itself. So I see people walking outside all the time at the track that I go to because I used to go to ULM, but their track is closed. But the track over here by the house that I go to, everybody's there too, like older couples or just older people or even young people. Like everybody's like outside riding their bicycles. I haven't seen a bunch of people on bicycles in a long time. But
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, things are starting to have more life to them again. All right, let's see. So, today I am gonna skip our ethical spotlight because I want us to really kind of make a plan for our next steps, and we might need to take some time even to like come up with some committees, or we're gonna need some more time to talk about our next steps, I think. So let's go ahead and do another quick round to do updates. So I have been keeping up with the Facebook group. I went in and I added some things, like some things. I invited some friends that I have that are social workers to our group, so I think a couple of them joined. Um, and you'll probably see a couple more people trickle in. I think that this week I'm going to send the email out to faculty to join. Um, and another step that I can take is to start sharing it to like my bigger social work groups, but that might have the impact of making it very big. And so we'll have to decide if we're there yet. Um, I do have a couple of suggestions. One of them was that I really love all of the links that are being posted. They all look appropriate and like they were well vetted and that sort of thing. But I want to encourage you guys to give at least like a sentence or two about it so that people kind of know what they're getting into whenever they click on it. Like, hey, this is a 5-minute video of, a TED Talk, or just to let the viewers know what it is so they can decide whether they want to look at it or not. Because I find that some people may just scroll past it if they don't know what it is. Um, and then the second thing would be if for when we post the questions or the challenge that we have some sort of visual with it. So I think it might get lost if we don't have one. We had a couple people chime in, but I think if we have a picture with it, that we'll get more responses. All right. Caitlin, you want to share? Oh, and then there was something else. I realized before our session today that I was going to talk to Dr. Moon about the student organization, and I haven't done that yet. But it's on my brain, and I'm going to do it before the next time that we meet. All right, Caitlin.
What I did this week was kind of went through, did some more research, added some more links. I reached out to a couple of social work organizations around here. I got a few responses back. I didn't get as many as I would have liked. And then I did reach out to another organization who put me in contact with some of their child welfare therapists. I haven't heard back from them yet, but their supervisor said they seemed very interested in the project. So just kind of waiting for that.
Okay,
So
great. It sounds like you were able to reach out to a lot of organizations in your area. Have you shared the group with them at all, or just kind of have you
yeah,
said, hey, this is what we're working on, or
yes, I've shared the group and kind of what we're working on. I'm not really getting anybody who's interested in the group or the video aspect, and I don't know if it's because of the social media component or if it's just easier to just write the answers out and give them back. So I'm kind of stuck there. I think it would be good if some of them would get involved. I just don't really know how to go about getting that.
yeah. I wonder if you could become friends with them on Facebook, like say it was NASW of Nebraska. That's where you are, right?
Right, yeah.
And you became friends with them, or liked their organization, then you
Mhm.
might be able to, since we are using a social media platform, it might be easier for them to share it that way. Like they could say, hey, check out this resource or whatever, and then more people
Yeah,
might see it and
yeah,
get
I might have to
linked to it.
try that.
All right, Audrey.
I have very little to report because I got completely derailed last week with some personal drama, and then my son graduated from college on Sunday, and I had some
Oh,
family things.
congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm going to hold up my hand and say I haven't made much of a contribution. Next week I have off, and I was hoping to make up for some time. So if there's things that people feel that I can be, specifically picking up next week, let me know. Shoot me an email or mention it to me when you go through what you've been doing. So I'm happy to pick up the slack going forward for next week when
Yeah,
everybody else is
chat
off.
about that when we do our action steps. But I know you've been communicating with me and you've had a
Mm,
lot going on, so it's understandable. But we'll make sure that before we leave today that everybody has a plan for next steps.
great.
Okay. All right, Lily.
I haven't done a ton this week. Well, some. I found some resources from the NASW and posted them on Facebook, and it was 3 podcasts, and I listened to them, and they were good. Kind of your like introduction to self care and why it's important, and how to avoid burnout. And my dad works for, he does like senior care, and so he kind of manages a company that does like private home health care for people who don't want to go to an assisted living facility or can't for whatever reason. And he said that a lot of his caregivers were like burning out, and like compassion fatigue was a big problem they were struggling with. So I was actually able to share like all the resources we had posted on Facebook with his team. And I've been communicating with their marketing director, and she's been really excited about like the things she can share and pass on to them. So I think it's having a like impact there, which has been really cool. Like resources that everyone has shared on that Facebook page, because it's not something a lot of people I think that work for him have a ton of experience with in terms of addressing. So it's been cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. That's great. And that's a good
But
example of how people can use this either like individually or at an organization level too, that some administrators maybe don't know where to start with supporting their staff. Okay, Kenzie.
This week, I have kind of just been trying to find more resources, and I've been saving them in a document because I hope, or when the posts start to slow down, right now it's great because there's so much on there, but once the posts start to slow down, then we can maybe add ones that we have archives just so the page is continually being posted on. I guess my suggestion, it's not really a suggestion, but I think right now I'm the only moderator because I created it, but I'm going to, when we get off, I think just make everyone in this group a moderator. And what that means is you can accept friend requests basically. Or accept requests for the group. So yeah, and I also think that's a great suggestion about creating a caption for all the resources we're posting on the page to kind of give everyone like an idea of what they'll be clicking and what they'll be reading, and so that they either maybe it's like a hook almost, like they're pulled into it more, into reading or watching the video, whatever it may be.
I mean, that's something that could even be something that you guys work on, asynchronously, so maybe if we made your list, Kenzie, into like into a Google Doc, or if we continue to use the Padlet with the resources, that anybody could go through and add a hook like that, so if you're looking for something to work on, to go and check out a couple of them and then write, a sentence or two about it, that whenever it is time for us to post it, that person who's posting it doesn't have to think of something. Somebody will have already created the content.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, especially because I know there's some people that are probably really good with words and can come up with a great caption too.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Okay, Joanna?
I went through and looked for some more resources as well. And I invited the few social workers that I know to join the
Okay.
page, but that's all I've done.
Okay, awesome. All right, Amy.
I've added lots of resources and got on there on the Facebook page a lot and read what other people have posted. And I was curious about all the stuff on Padlet that we had that we haven't transferred yet, but I think what Kenzie mentioned was good, that we wait, and kind of we can add some of that stuff as we go along when it gets quiet. And kudos to Lily for joining us from the beach. Must be nice.
Well, if it's any comfort, the first 4 days we were here was a literal tropical storm, and it was pouring.
Aw.
Darn.
But now it's nice, and I have a sunburn to prove it. So
Which beach are you at, Lily?
we're Sandbridge, which is north of Virginia Beach.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
That reminds me of the last trip I went on. The first 3 days of it, I had food poisoning. So, who's that?
This is my sister and her dog.
Oh, I didn't really
This
mean
is-
your sister. I meant the dog. But hi, sister.
And he's a mini dachshund. He's like the size of a shoe.
Oh,
Is this your
he's
class?
so cute.
Oh my gosh, that's the professor probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, she talks a lot.
So cute.
I know it was a professor.
You're not muted.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't shown you my new kitten yet. I'll have to post it in our Facebook group. Because I think one of my friends mentioned that she's fostering cats and that's her self-care. I can't imagine fostering kittens, and bottle feeding them and stuff would be self-care. That sounds like a lot of work. But you also get to play with kittens, so I guess there's a trade-off. All right, Roshana.
Well, what I've been doing is I've been trying to pretty much get more of the direct resources. Like, I mean, for me, I like to like reach out to people directly and kind of get their insight. So I've reached out to a social worker that I kind of have a personal relationship with. She's a LC SW. So I'm kind of waiting on her to get back with her about a few things. I did speak to another social worker, the social worker that I mentioned to you about, Lisa, that I've been in contact with. And I kind of mentioned, our project to her and gave her a little bit of information. But I want to try to see if I can get her involved with it. And then maybe if she can reach out to some of her friends and kind of get them on board with everything too. So I'm gonna meet with her again. I've been meeting with her through telephone because she's in Northwest Arkansas and I'm in Central Arkansas. So that's kind of what I've been doing, talking to her like on the phone, and she's been giving me advice, and we've been talking about different things. And I'm waiting on another social worker to get back with me. But another thing that my liaison had brought up to me is she was saying that, I don't know if anybody else is doing this, but she was saying that the idea for this is that they were wanting us to do like at least 15 hours of community community outreach. And I kind of came to the conclusion that I'm not doing as much with this as I should. So that's something that I'm gonna work.
We talked a little bit about this last week, so
Oh,
and you
okay.
were able to join us last week. And
Yeah.
we can set up a phone call too if you want to kind of
Okay.
talk about
Okay,
what
yeah.
you can work on. But I think one big task that we've identified today is going through the resources that we have, like on Padlet, and if we start a Google Doc and kind of annotating them, so making a comment on what it is, to kind of curate that. And today we're going to be talking about, when we get to action steps, kind of really making sure that everybody feels comfortable with next steps and having enough things to work on to get their hours. Because I know from other people, it sounded like you guys are supplementing a lot with the online trainings, and that you are open to the idea of doing some more work on this.
Yeah.
Another thing I've thought about is that maybe the Facebook group is not going to be enough for everybody to get that many hours, and so maybe we should revisit the idea that I had put out there at the beginning of the module about starting some sort of buddy program, so some sort of like accountability partner program, because I think that there would be some more like work to do with that. What do you guys think about that?
When you say buddy, who exactly are we buddying up with? Like each other or?
So the idea is to have there's a lot of different ways we can do it, but it would be a program that's kind of offered by us. So you would put out a call to have people volunteer for it or say that they want to be involved in it. And it could be students, it could be people who are in the community, who are working as social workers. And then they'd be paired up to be a buddy with one another. The original idea I had was that it would be a social work student and somebody in the field who would do it together, but it doesn't have to be like that. I mean, it could be a mix. You could be with a student or with somebody who's in the field. But the idea is for people to set a goal and then to get social support from one another, and some accountability from one another. So, you might send your partner text messages that say, remember, go for your run, or say, send me a picture of where you run today, or that sort of thing. If the person's goal was to go on more runs. So that's kind of the general idea there, is that your work, our work as a group would be implementing the program. So, there might be some of you who would work on putting the call out there to involve people. There might be some of you who do the logistics of matching people up and sending out the matches to people. There might be a group of you who are in charge of, making posts on our Facebook group, reminding people to reach out to their people. All right.
I kind of like that idea.
Okay. Well, what I can do is, since next week we are going to be, we're going to skip our week. I'm going to send you guys, I'll make you another little proposal with what the work is that we would need to do to do that, to give you guys a little bit more structure. And I'll have you guys sign up for different things that you want to work on. And even though we won't be meeting as a group, if you want to go ahead and get started on some of it, we can communicate via email or have a phone chat about what you can do to get started before we meet again. All right. I'm not sure where we left off, but I think Anthony, I don't think that we've gotten you yet.
Yeah, as far as this week goes, I found a pretty good article that I liked, that I posted in the Facebook group. And I think this kind of goes hand in hand with one of the suggestions that I thought maybe would be a possibility. One of the suggestions that I thought was, you already said it, was putting some kind of blurb just to kind of show what each article is. But then also, I was also thinking, like, not that it has to be this, but maybe putting articles or whatever it may be, or any type of research in the Facebook group that is pertaining to like current situations, like in the world. Just because, yes, obviously, the self-care is important and whatnot, but I think because of everything that's going on, a lot of people, including myself, are kind of overwhelmed a little bit. So I think just maybe finding like a correlation between something that's going on in the world and self-care, I think would possibly be beneficial. That's something that I was thinking of when I found that article. I was like, oh, okay, like this actually, it works because it wraps everything together, and it pulls it together. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So how to respond to more specific stresses that we might have.
Yeah,
right.
Like I said, especially because there's so much going on in the world right now. So it was like, for me, I just figured if it could be kind of specific to something current, I don't know, I just think that would be beneficial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And did we skip you for self-care?
You did, but you guys were kind of doing your thing. So I didn't want to
Did you cook?
What's up? I did.
Cook?
Yeah, I did. I actually, I failed the first time, but I made a carrot cake and I failed the first time, but the second time it came out pretty good.
That's pretty ambitious though, to bake and that's baking and baking.
Yeah, well, that's like my worst. I mean, I'm not a beginner, but like, yeah, baking's not my strong suit by any means. So yeah, the first time, I'm mature enough to admit that it failed miserably, but the second time was pretty good. So I'm not gonna hate on myself too much.
All right, nice. Okay. Alexis, did you share what you've been working on this week?
No, ma'am. this week I went into the Facebook page and responded to Kingsley's post, and I was pretty much just looking into the Facebook and what people were posting, their videos and stuff like that, trying to get a feel for what it is that I need to look into and what I would want to post. But I also was looking at a lot of research as well and holding on to things that I could possibly post soon. I haven't gave the page out to anybody just yet. So that's pretty much all I've been doing.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, did I miss anybody? Anybody have anything else they want to share? Okay. Let's talk action plan then. Am I still sharing the slides with you guys? Okay. All right, so now, thinking about this next week, and really it's this next 2 weeks. So I've already told you guys 2 things that I'm going to do. One is I'm going to talk to Dr. Moon about about starting a student organization, and then I'm going to put together a action plan for us for coming up with the the buddy program, and I'm going to send that to you guys so that you can sign up for things, and then I'll keep sharing our group with people too. I think that I'll just go ahead and share it more widely. Like, I'll share it with our faculty, I'll send it to Denise Chesson, who can get it linked up with our social media for the school, and I'll share it in my Facebook groups and stuff. So hopefully I think that our group is going to grow because this is something that people really are interested in. And so we also might find that there are more needs, like for moderating and that sort of thing too. So we'll see how it goes. I may be like, yeah, I have all these friends, they're going to come, and then nobody shows up. So we'll see. All right, so I'm going to pull up our Google Doc and we'll add to there too. I'm going to add the item about, hang on. This, stop the share, and I'm going to share it again. While I'm kind of in a transition period, I want to get a pulse on something, so to say. Since you guys are online students, I'm teaching all online now, and I'm always interested in new technologies that we can use in our classes that are, kind of facilitate more discussion, things like that. If you've taken a class of mine before, you know that I try to stir things up and to have things like Flipgrid, which is a video platform where you can share videos with one another, little things to engage like that. Well, there is a new platform that's called Top Hat, and the way that it works is that it is more of an interactive, live session. So, but you can do it asynchronously. So you would go and, watch maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes of lecture, and then there would be questions that pop up and that you would answer as it goes along. Instead of it being like where you have to wait until the end and, you take a quiz for every week, or, you just are graded, on tests or assignments, that it makes it like a little bit more interactive. They also support some open source materials, which means that they work with professors to come up with their own textbooks so that you don't have to purchase textbooks, that it would be, part of the class that you have access to on Top Hat. And so their model, though, for pricing is that it is something that students pay for. So for like a whole semester, it costs $30. And so that would be like your access to all of your assignments and things. And I think that for the extra, like textbooks, it's another $30 or something like that. What do you guys think about that cost? Like, would people scoff at that if I've said, hey, we're going to use Top Hat and it's this new thing and you might only use it in my class, but it costs $30?
I mean, I know that for textbooks, I spend around 50 to 60 maybe per module per
Okay.
class, so it wouldn't be like outrageous. But would that be for the module or would that be per month, the $30?
So I've got to ask the people about that because it seems like it would be for the whole, like a whole traditional semester, you know. So that would be like 2 modules for us. And the other thing is that if I could get other faculty on board, it's like it's a one-time purchase, like for the semester or whatever. Like if, you had 3 classes and we all used it, you would just pay for it once. But yeah, I
That'd be
just wanted to
awesome.
throw that
All
out there and see what you guys thought about that because I get sales pitches for stuff like that. But that one I was like, that one sounds like something that might um, be more interesting to students because it could help alleviate some of your costs. So I'll keep looking into it. All right, so action steps for this week. I know that we have, for all of us, we can add, I guess we'll say, to resources. So add sentence or to explaining what the resource is. That can be with the link and posted. Okay, and then Dr. D, faculty members, about student organization. And then I'll say I'll invite people to the group. Make an action plan for the buddy program. Okay, what else should we add to this list?
I kind of have interest in writing like a article type thing of what self-care is not. Because I think it can, like, I think you had said at the beginning, like self-care and self-improvement are different. And also like self-care like doesn't have to be tied with productivity. Sometimes it's the very opposite. So I don't know, do you think people would go for that or be interested in reading something like that?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I mean, it may be more viewed if it was a video. So, like, if you made like a script and then, talked about it.
I could try.
What do you guys think? Do you think people would read it or would a video?
Like maybe if it was like a flyer type thing, I think that would kind of interest people as well. I mean, I think a video would be good too, but like a poster or like a flyer or something.
Like an what are they called? An infographic, like a,
But something like that, I think people would.
I think I'd have better success creating an infographic than a video, but I do think a video would be pretty commonly viewed.
Yeah, well, no, if you think that the infographic would be easier, go for that. I mean, I think that would be widely shared too. there's one that the University of Buffalo did. They're the ones who did that toolkit. That's actually how they started, was with an infographic, and it was about self-care and social work. But it'd be interesting to do what self-care isn't, and it could, I don't know how artistic you are, Lily, but it could even just be like a drawing, or just something that's like handwritten too. I think you're muted. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I got it for a quick second, but yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right. Other things that I should add to this?
Maybe if people have some spare time, they can add the captions on Padlet or like options for captions.
Okay.
Or even like a
So that's what I
Google Doc.
meant for the
Oh,
first
okay,
one.
perfect.
Yeah, is that what you mean too, or is it
Yeah, sorry, I missed that one. I was looking
Yeah.
at that other page.
Yeah, caption.
Yeah, why don't you guys leave that with me, and I can take that over for next week and get captions in on the stuff so it's the captions on the stuff that's in the Padlet or on the Facebook page.
So, I think that what we're talking about now is we haven't really talked about what's up there already. I think we can just kind of leave that the way it is now, but we are talking about things that are on the Padlet, and then Kenzie had mentioned that she has another document of ones to post whenever we kind of run out of things, and to kind of have a steady flow of stuff. So you could start with the Padlet,
Okay.
and just like in the comments, write your annotation on there. Now that we're talking about the Facebook page now, another thing that is a feature in Facebook groups is to tag posts. So that might be something that we want to do. So, like Anthony was mentioning, current events, like if we have ones that are specific to, like burnout with activism and that sort of thing, like with the protesting and that sort of thing. Maybe we have a tag for all of, the types of self-care for that. Or if there's ones that are COVID related, to tag it as COVID. So I'll add that on here too.
Dr. Dinicola, this may be an incredibly dumb question, but where do I find this document? Because I was looking for
So
this the other day, and because I was looking for something that you might have sent through from the meeting from last week, and I'm like, I don't see anything.
So this document, I think I sent it on our last email, but I have an email up right now to send you guys the video from last week because I forgot to send that to y'all.
Okay, yeah, I was looking
And
for that. I'm like, there's a secret page that you guys all talked about last week, and so okay.
no, I'll send an email and it'll have that on it too. Um, I haven't, I don't know. I mean, I can use the Moodle page. I just really don't like Community Moodle. It hurts me, like going onto it, like looking at it makes my brain hurt. But if that's the best place for us to put stuff, then I'll do that.
Oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one. So much. Like, oh my God. I'm like overwhelmed. Like it's something I'm missing or something. Oh my God. I was the only one that felt that way.
Well, you're not the only one. I feel that way too. It makes my brain
It
hurt.
gives me anxiety. Like when I go in to look for something, I'm like, oh, I'll never be able to find that thing I saw that one time on Community Moodle. So I know how everybody feels.
It's
Yeah.
stuff everywhere.
All right. Well, I'll send an email with this, and I'll have the link to this document for you guys again, Audrey, because you're not the only person who had trouble finding it. All right. Well, I think that we're good for this week. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel our meeting for next week because I think you guys deserve a break. But I am gonna send you guys an email with the links I've talked about and the action plan for our buddy system. So I do want you guys to be looking at that and signing up for things, and reach out to me if you want to get started on it, and I can give you some ideas of what to do first. All right. Any announcements or? Nope. Everybody's good. All right. Well, I hope you guys are able to use the extra time next week to take care of yourselves, engage in some self-care, and I'll see you guys on the Thursday after, which I think is the July 2nd. All right. See you then. Bye.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.